Welcome to this course on how to survive an earthquake. I'm Andre from the House of God. Long ago in Japan, there was a belief that a giant catfish called Namazu, or sometimes he is called Onamazu, is controlled by a deity called Kashima. If he put a big rock on his head, this catfish will not be able to wriggle his tail. He lives in the mud under the islands of Japan. But sometimes Kashima would be unattentive and Namazu will wriggle his tail, and that causes earthquakes. Unfortunately, this is not the case. There is no giant earthquake as we know it today. In reality, earthquakes are on the rise. Every year, more and more earthquakes are happening. Some experts say that this is not true. More or less, earthquakes have been consistent. Yes, to an extent. If they are large ones, more or less is the same, about 1,500 every year around the world. But overall, as you can see, the number of earthquakes are on the rise. Not only that, earthquake fatalities are rising. Now you may be wondering how this is possible. Since we have more sensors, since we have more scientists and seismologists looking into this problem, and they have more mathematical models, you would expect that there would be better prediction. Unfortunately, no one is able to predict earthquakes accurately, and because people still do not know how to survive earthquakes, the casualties are increasing. Now, I have done a lot of research to verify that earthquakes are on the rise, and here are some of them. You can check it for yourself. Preparation is the key to surviving an earthquake. If you do not plan, you plan to fail. Most earthquake-prone countries are Japan, Nepal, India, Ecuador, Philippines, Pakistan, El Salvador, Mexico, Turkey, and Indonesia. Take special care if you are living in these countries. Now, there are many surveys and many publications on the earthquake-prone countries. They vary. I use this one because it is recent. However, it is important to remember that in this world, everywhere is not safe, so preparation is the key. Now, you want to look at this map here. It is called a seismic hazard map. Now, if you are in one of these 10 countries, as I mentioned earlier, or in some of the other surveys, don't take any risk. Look at this map here. This is measured in peak ground acceleration, which means this number here is not magnitude. This measures how shaky the surface of the crust is. Where you are standing, where your house is standing, how shaky the ground is. So this is a good unit to measure, look out for if you are calculating and if you are building earthquake resistant buildings and homes. Look here, this area that is dark, you can see is high acceleration, and here as well is high acceleration. This is prediction. Now, what is reality? In 2015, here is a map of fatalities and injuries. You can see high level of injuries in these areas here. Look, it's quite close to what has been predicted. You can see here. So be careful, especially if you are living in areas that's here and here. This map here shows the actual amount of force, the magnitude that is found in this area here, this circle area here. This is where it is strongest, and then it gets weaker and weaker and weaker, and the light blue is the weakest. But there's some tremors here, there's no tremors at all. So obviously, where it is strongest, you will have more injuries and fatalities because the houses will come down faster. People will have less time to react. The roads are broken. Their infrastructure are destroyed, ambulances, hospitals, they cannot treat the survivors, and so the fatalities will increase, the injuries will worsen. So where it is strongest, you would expect more injuries, more death. If you live in another country like in Philippines, the government will issue something like this here. Top 10 provinces that are at risk of earthquakes. Okay, here are 10 of them here. So here will be extremely dangerous, high risk, and here will be less, and here, well, seems to be quite safe. But in reality, it's not. If you look at the seismic hazard map of the Philippines, you will see that this whole area is all red, so it's not very safe. So don't just look at what is published officially, but look at these hazard maps that is generated by organizations like USGS. Now I want to give you an example of Tangshan, China. In July 27, 1976, there was an earthquake between 7.5 and 7.8. It occurred at 3:42 a.m. That day, people were asleep, so only some managed to wake up and hide under furniture, but the majority of the people just didn't know that there was an earthquake for them to react fast enough. You can see here the amount of devastation here. What you can see is 93% of residential properties collapsed. 255,000 people died. This is what is official. As you can see here in this picture here, even the factories, this is just the front, the back is broken. Okay, all this is broken. 78% of the factories were destroyed. Now you are wondering, how come such a disaster? How come so many homes get destroyed? Well, you see, what happened is that the government gave a zoning of level 6. This is on the Mercalli intensity scale. So level 6 is pretty okay, there's going to be some tremors, going to be some shake, but not going to destroy houses like this. Now at this level, 7.5, it should be 11, not 6. Okay, 12 is the maximum. So as you can see, people were not prepared simply because they thought that they were safe. They thought they were safe, they didn't need to prepare, they didn't strengthen their houses, and that's why 250,000 people were thought to have been killed. Some estimate as high as 655,000 because the following day, on the 28th of July, a 7.1 aftershock came. And while the people who were doing the rescues were very good at their work, the buildings were lightweight, 80% of the people that were brought up were actually brought up alive. But the aftershock killed off the rest, so we don't know exactly how many were buried alive through the aftershock. So this is a clear example that being prepared is so very important here. We at the House of God do have an earthquake resistant building program. If you need to know more, if you want to know more, do get in touch with us. The aims of our program here is to help you to be safe and to survive with no injuries or little injuries. Economically not affected, with minimal loss of properties and finances. Every year, on the average, the cost of earthquakes is 12 billion. 12 billion. So you don't want to lose money and do not want to contribute to these statistics. And thirdly, you want to get back to normal life as soon as possible. You want to have a peaceful life. So in order to do this, we are going to teach you 3 steps. 3 steps to achieve the 3 aims: prepare, survive, and restore. Okay, let's start with step 1. I've broken it to 3 parts. Step 1A, review. Now, Use your eyes and walk around. Do a bit of management by walking around for your home, your church, your place of work. Ask the following questions. Where are the hazards? What are the hazards? What can fall? What can get destroyed? What can hurt people? For example, heavy things like this bookcase will fall because they are tall in an earthquake. Somebody standing here under the bookcase will get very hurt or even killed. How about this beautiful cupboard here? This is where you put all your decoration and ornaments, souvenirs that you have collected in your travels. They are now scattered on the floor. Many are broken. What a waste. All your memories are destroyed in a matter of seconds. And to help you to make your bookcase stable and to safeguard your property, use simple things like a bracket here or this side here, or you can put screws through the back of this bookcase here if it's strong. And if you have anything on top of it, like this planter here, you put a strong gel or strong putty to hold it in place. Now I'm going to show you how to do this. Here, if you have an angle plate, you can screw it externally like this here. You can see like this here onto the wall. But you might think that it's very ugly, so you can screw it from the inside. Okay, so you need a slightly longer screw to do this. Or you can use a Z clip or Z clip like this here. Alright. So don't worry about it being ugly. You can always just paint this to make it look like the wall. Why you worry about ugly? You know, you want to be safe. You can buy brackets like this from the internet. This is from Amazon, I think, and it costs $9.73. Expensive. Okay, you don't need to spend this money here. You can just use normal Velcro, or you can use polyester, polypropylene, or nylon webbing and straps. Here you see they have eyelets. Okay, that's good. That's very important to have eyelets. Here there's no eyelets. You have to make your own. Or easier still, just use washers. Screw it through here with the washer, and don't use this countersunk. Use a flat type of screw. If you have things on top of your cabinet and furniture and you want to decorate your house, you think this looks very pretty, well, in an earthquake, in the event of earthquake, all this will be on the ground and smashed to bits. So what you want to do is to use a strong putty. We call it earthquake hole, we call it museum putty. It's a kind of gel, kind of putty that you can put at the bottom. It's very strong and it won't fall off in a shake. Don't try to glue it down or use epoxy, because then of course it'll be stuck there forever. You have a problem to rearrange this. So if you don't have this, then find other ways, or don't put it there, put it inside the cupboard. Now, I mentioned earlier about a bracket, this L-shaped bracket here. What is recommended is 1/8 of an inch thickness, which is about 3 millimeters. I find this hard to find, and if I find this, maybe made of brass, which may not be so strong. Normally, if they are casted, they are not strong. They tend to be brittle. So something like this, a steel bracket, is very common, and is chrome plated. Very cheap as well. You can buy whole stack like this, maybe 3 or 4 pieces for $1. And if it is 1.2 millimeters, then you just need 3 of these brackets to replace one of these. You can use this type. You can make it yourself. Just use a normal steel bar, and you can bend it and drill it yourself. Or you can use an angle plate with lots of holes, and this will give you more area and therefore more strength. You can use an anchor bolt like this. This will be very strong. Unfortunately, most houses today are made of hollow brick, hollow cement brick. Now, anchor bolt like this will not work here. Neither will any of these plates, because when you drill a hole here and you put in a wall plug, it's not going to be strong. It's just going to fall through. Okay, any shaking as well, if you notice, this cement block is very, very weak. You drop it at the same level as your head onto the ground, it will break. So you'll be surprised how strong it is if you were to put your raw plug at the edge, at where the mortar is. Okay, see where the mortar is, vertical and horizontally. You can drill the hole here to put in your raw plug, and that might work. Okay, take a risk, but it's better than doing nothing. Okay, water heaters. Now I want to pay special attention to water heaters because they are common in your homes. Sometimes they are very big, 55, 65, 70 liters, like this one. This is about 60 liters. So it is a problem here because when it falls, things get broken. Okay, the gas pipe gets broken, the water pipe gets broken, the electrical wires get broken, and then this part will get very wet here. Gas will be emitted in this small confined area, and electrical cables, water and electrical cables, they don't go well together. Okay, you can get a shock, and water can damage your property, destroy your house, and a fire will cause thousands of dollars. Not only you have to replace your water heater, you have to repair your whole house if it were to burn down. So do anything to hold it in place. Stainless steel, steel, straps, wood, nylon, anything, just hold it very, very tight. Okay, you don't need to buy these stainless steel clips just for your water heater, they're very expensive. Any wood or straps would do, as long as you ensure that it is very strong. Okay, hold it very tight. And the other important thing is that where you have the connecting hoses to the inlet and the outlet, do not use copper pipe or PVC because they will break with the shaking. Okay, and gas will leak out, water will leak out. Use a flexible hose instead, a PVC flexible hose, and then use a clip to hold it tight. This would be a better solution for earthquake prone areas here. Check other things like your ceiling lights. Lights will fall down. Your ceiling fans, your stand fans will topple over. Your ceiling fan might shake loose and fall. Any heavy things left on cupboards like vases, planters, will drop. Your kitchen drawers and cabinet drawers and doors. Computer, monitor, microwave, they are very heavy. TV, musical instruments, speakers, amplifiers, secure them all. I want to talk a bit about refrigerators. They are big, they are tall, then they can fall easily. Now some people suggest that you do the same thing with an angle bracket. There you are, put an expansion bolt through here and put a metal screw through the bracket onto your refrigerator. Now this is not a good idea. I do not recommend this because the outside casing of the refrigerator is a very thin metal, okay, 16 gauge or even less. So if you put a screw here, just a bit of shake, it will rip off and your refrigerator will fall over, you get damaged. The door can't close, the food inside your fridge will be damaged. So I suggest instead to use a Z-clip and clip it to the leg. Now some books recommend that you use this type of clip called a prong Z-clip. This is a bad idea because in an earthquake the refrigerator doesn't jump up and down, it goes forward and backwards and side to side. So if you move forwards, then this is free, so the fridge will just topple over. Use this instead. Okay, use this, enlarge the hole or find one the hole that can fit into the leg of the refrigerator, and then after that drill a hole onto the floor, put in a raw plug and put in a stainless steel screw to hold it in place. This kitchen, I mentioned about kitchen, looks very beautiful, right? All your nice spices, your herbs, your food and oil and etc. is here. Look very nice. After an earthquake, it will look like this. All the things are on the floor. Look at this here. They are broken here. It will take you a long time to replace this. Some of these things will never be replaced because they could be gifts for your wedding and your anniversary. How are you going to replace this? So secure your doors and your cabinets and your drawers using child-proof locks like this here. All right. These are easy to install. You can buy them easily. They are quite cheap. The problem is that you have to open them every time. Every time you have to press this, or every time you have to unlock this, and you have to lock it back every time. 10,000 times, and only one time it will save you from opening the doors being opened due to an earthquake. So thinking about it from the productivity point of view, I was wondering whether there's something that can be activated. The lock can be activated by itself, and I found this item here. It's very clever. You call it a Sizmo latch. I'm not advertising for this, I just found this, but you can build it yourself. It's something like this here. You're free to open and close it, but in an earthquake, so this is shaking, this hook will come down and lock itself onto the latch so that this door cannot be opened. Okay, so then the question is, of course, now after earthquake is over, how are you going to open this? So you have to use a tool or something, a plastic that is bent to lift it up. Step 1B, prepare to respond to an earthquake. You should have an evacuation plan, a reunion plan, update contacts of loved ones, keep it up to date, location of your emergency supplies, storing important documents, find safe spot in every room. In every single room, you have to determine where it is safe for people to hide or to go under, take cover, and so on. Medication and medical records, location of utility valves, switches, gas and water supply so that you can be there to turn it off. You know how to turn it off, and everyone else should know how to turn it off. Earthquake supplies kit, where to live if your home is damaged after an earthquake. You have to think about this. You have to talk to your relatives. Then you need to conduct drills with your family members or your church members. I'll give you some examples here. Evacuation plan, this is important here. You should draw this and paste it somewhere in your building, in your home, and make it aware for everybody. So let's say, for example, if you are in the bedroom, you should climb out the window here. If you are on the toilet, you can run out from here. If there's a fire, and so on. Okay, and this is the meeting point. Put a meeting point down here. This is the main exit. This is the alternative exit. Okay, so main one is here. Everybody run out here. Here and here, and then alternatively, if you are trapped, there's a big fire here, you can go out through here and here and here. Then this is your family emergency plan. Give name, date of birth, and contact information whatsoever. In case you are injured, you would like to have people inform your next of kin, your friends, your relatives, so they can come and visit you, and they can come and help you because you are unable to do things since you are injured. If you have a family member that goes to school or is away and you want to be reunited with them, you may be separated due to the earthquake happening, maybe at school time. Do this. Have a family member card, fill in all the details. Don't wait until that day. Paste a photograph like this here, make sure it's recent. Then you can hand this out to people to help look up for example, your daughter, and this is how she looked like, what's her name, and so on. Important documents should be put together in a pouch, a waterproof pouch. Make photocopies of your important document, driving license, IC, passport, etc. You can save it to cloud. You should have cash, money, spare keys, and a map. Make an emergency preparation checklist. For example, you need water, first aid kit, batteries, torchlight, canned food, and so on. This is an emergency kit checklist here, which I've put on this graph here. It doesn't belong to me. I found this on the internet. You can press pause and look at it. And you should have a big bag like this here. and to store all your emergency supplies. Put it in a handy place, perhaps near the exit for you to grab, and then you can run out of the house. First aid kit. Now, how to put together a first aid kit? Remember that the common injuries in earthquake and earthquake related injuries are laceration, bruises, fractures, burns, head trauma, asphyxia, and crush syndrome. Okay, make sure that they are fresh and check the expiry dates frequently. This is an example of a list of stuff that you can put into your first aid kit. It's from the Red Cross. I added duct tape. Now, duct tape is very useful because it can stop heavy bleeding very quickly. Have equipment available like fire extinguishers, hose, and spades, and so that you can help other people who are trapped. You can fight fires in your house, and you can start doing some minor repairs, or help your neighbors to be dug out if they are under the rubble. In an earthquake-prone area, leave a torchlight and shoe next to your bed. Remember, don't choose shoes like this. Choose shoes like that, like this. They should be strong shoes and protect your toes. Not open sandals like this here. It's not going to help you. Okay, and tie the shoelace. Make it loose and tie the shoelace. Not like this. The shoelace is loose here. You will trip over. Tie it up, but make it loose so that you can slip it on. Slip it on, grab your torchlight and run out. I was thinking also that you might want to put in your pajamas pocket small torchlights like this and a small whistle, so you can run out very quickly. Okay, for children, you might want to give them shoes like this that have battery, that have lights as well, so they just put on your shoes and they run out, and you can see where they are running and not trip over things. I like to use a grab and go pouch. I used to use these small ones. I thought it was handy, but the problem is that you need a belt. Okay, so you end up trying to hold this. Okay, in this pouch here, it's a bit small. You put in your pen, my telephone, extra battery here, multi-tools, medicine, and so on. But the problem is, if you are in a hurry, you have to hold it in your hand. So I prefer to use this, which I do use nowadays, will be a camera bag. This is a camera bag. It occupies, well, I don't have a camera inside here, but I put in all the other things, medicine, a bit of water, some sweets, some biscuits, passport, money, things like that are in here. So I don't have to put it on me. I can just hang it around my neck and over my shoulder. You see, because this is always closed. You can just hang it on you and you can run out. Your hands are free. You can balance yourself. You can grab a child and run out at the same time. So that's useful. Also, I like to include in your checklist tents or tarpaulin sheet. You will never know if it's going to be rainy, if your house is damaged, your roof is damaged, and so on. There are many kinds. This yellow type here is strong. It lasts a long time, several months. But it's a bit expensive, $29. This is in Singapore dollars. You get around 100 square feet. If you want something lighter and smaller and very quick to go, this polypropylene tarpaulin sheet, about 80 square feet, costs only $4.30 Singapore. 400 square feet is about $15. So it's very good money, but they don't last long, perhaps a week. Okay, if it's very windy, perhaps 3 days. But nonetheless, it's better than nothing. You can use it as a ground sheet somewhere you can sit on in case it's damp. You can use it over your head so that you can stay dry. You should appoint also a warden if you have a community area where many people are meeting. For example, like in your church, a disaster warden would be the person to ring the bell, because sometimes the earthquake comes and everybody's looking around. What should I do? Should I move? Should I stay? So the warden is there to decide move or not move, and he rings the alarm. And once you hear the alarm, everybody will follow the instructions of the warden. Even the pastor must listen to the instruction of the warden, and that's his responsibility. Everybody must obey him. If he say get out, everybody get out. He say cover, everybody take cover. So you should install an earthquake alarm, because this helps you to trigger, to trigger what to do, trigger your plan to start. Okay, you can buy an earthquake alarm, or you can use your phone. You can download an app and put it onto the table. The problem is that nobody wants to do this because they are afraid that the phone will get stolen. So you can build an alarm on your own. Okay, I have a plan here, an electronic plan here. It's very easy for you to build. You can buy this quick alarm here or build by yourself. Very cheap to build by yourself, or you can make it analog. If you are not an electronics person, this analog just a wire and something, a ball that is shaking inside here, made of aluminum foil. This is an Android version. They have iOS version as well for earthquake alarm. So far I haven't found one that is very useful yet. They just give you alerts but not to really give an alarm yet. Additional items: gloves, tools, canned and packaged food, charcoal, wood or gas grill for outdoor cooking, matches if necessary, cooking utensils like pots and pans, can openers, comfortable warm clothing including extra socks, blankets or sleeping bags. Step C. Minimize financial loss by strengthening your property. You need to invest a little bit to strengthen your home, to prevent it from falling, to save your life and your family member's life. You can check it on your own, or you can get an expert to help you. Don't waste the money, because it is too late if you were to throw money at the dead. You should have used this money instead to strengthen your home or your church. Not after they are dead, then you throw the money at the dead person. I know there's lots of regrets here. People are very sad here. Family members are looking here and they're thinking to themselves, why didn't I do something to make sure that my building won't fall? So there are plenty of sense of regrets and sorrow here. You can avoid this. You can avoid this by strengthening your home to make sure that it doesn't fall. So what to strengthen? 3 things: foundation, walls and roof. Now this is very important. I want to talk this to you because I've been to many places in earthquake hazardous zones, and I'm appalled, I'm shocked that people still take it so lightly and live in houses that are so weak and so dangerous. Okay, firstly, just use your common sense. This is a tall tower, 7-story high, and it's made of brick and mud. Nearly 200 people died here when it collapsed. Something tall like this here is not going to survive an earthquake. No matter how historic it is going to fall. Look at this here. This part is also weak foundations here. The pillars are weak, so small here, and this is heavy at the top. So what happens when you shake something heavy at the top? This will break and it will come down. Same for this. Looks very beautiful, but so dangerous. I want to show you this video here. Now pay attention to this circles here. There is something here, a roof. There are pillars here, and I know in this country here, I won't mention, they do not build it properly. The contractors basically just want to do things easy and cheap, and so this pillar here is badly connected to the foundation, and this roof is badly connected to this pillar here. Now watch what happens when it shakes. As I mentioned, things at the top, the roof should not be heavy. Now it starts to shake. You can see the wires is starting to shake. The cars are slowing down. What happened? You see? It failed here at the base and at the top. Here is another example. This is Kobe, in the Kobe earthquake, and you can see there's a gigantic destruction here. It was in 1995, 6.9 magnitude in Kobe, Japan. Now you are wondering why such a big devastation in a place in Japan that is famous for their earthquake resistant building. The reason is because they use this kind of tiles. The walls are made of bamboo and some plaster, okay, and the roof is made so heavy with this heavy tiles, very thick and heavy tiles, because they have a lot of typhoon in Japan. So while this might beat the typhoon, it doesn't beat the earthquake, because when it starts to shake, the walls crumble and the roof cause a rapid destruction of the building. Most of the people that died in this earthquake, as well as in Osaka earthquake, live in this kind of houses, right? They won't stand a chance because the heavy tiles collapse on them. This building survived the earthquake. This building survived the earthquake. Wouldn't it be nice if this building also survived the earthquake? You will wonder why. Why this building collapsed and these two didn't collapse? Why? Whose responsibility? Well, of course, if you live here, it is your responsibility to make sure that it's built properly and it is strong enough. If you don't make any effort to strengthen it, you will lose your house and everything inside it, and even your life. Look at the shape of your building. Is it odd shape like this, like this, like this, like this, rectangular? It should be square shape or round. It should be uniform, okay? And you should have something like this, a core square in the center, a core inner wall. These are inner walls, these are outer walls. Outer walls always fall down, inner walls tend to be stronger. So if you want to protect yourself, stand next to the inner wall, not on the outer wall. If you have a foundation made of round stone, this is going to be a problem. Okay, it's not going to be strong. Use proper crushed granite stone, low in silica. Then you use bolts. These are 4-inch bolts minimum, 4 to 6-inch bolts to be inserted into your foundation to hold your building structure if it's made of wood. So this should be spaced between 9 and 12 inches apart. If you have something like this, a wooden building sitting onto your foundation, you can use plates like this to hold it in place and to strengthen it. Add columns. Many houses I see are just bricks joining to each other. This is not strong at all. So you need to add columns into your brick wall. You take out these bricks here and you add these columns, make a cage like this here, and add rebars into your walls vertically and horizontally as well. To strengthen your walls, you might need also external fixtures like this here. This is very strong. It can be very expensive, but it's well worth the investment. Take a look at this case here. Many buildings fell in this area called Baktapur. They are made from traditional methods of building. Notice the bricks are in very good condition. They are not broken because they are using mud and cow dung as adhesive, like the mortar. You use mud and cow dung and you stick it onto your brick and you expect it to hold together in a 7.9 magnitude earthquake. I mean, think about it. Think about it. This is just mud and cow dung holding bricks in place, and you expect it to survive. And you know what the experts say? Oh, because it was raining. Yeah, it's raining, so how the mud gets soft? I assure you, even if it's not raining, it's going to come down. Do not live in a house like this. If your house is made of brick and mud, do not live here. You are going to die. Okay, you are going to die. So leave at once. Bring down your house and rebuild it properly. Now look at this earthquake resistant construction code of practice. This is Indian code of practice here. According to the code of practice, you need to have a hold down bolt to hold down your roof truss to the wall. As you can see here, there is a bolt in place here, item number 8 here, you can see hold down bolt. So this bolt means it is a anchor bolt, a long anchor bolt, like this one here or like this one here. If not, you can use something like this here. Of course, this is your wall here, and you should have a roof band which is made of concrete, and you can hold, this is an anchor bolt to hold it down like so here. This example is from the Philippines, and they are holding down the roof truss here with metal bars from the column. So the column bars, they have 4 of these coming out, 2 on this side and 2 on the other side. So they lift it up, go over this part here and bend it down. Just bend down like this, and they just use nails. Okay, this is not a good practice. You should weld these two together. If not, make a J shape like this here, because when the wind is blowing, this roof will go up and down, and this will cause this part to bend. You'll be surprised, you know, the winds can go up to 300 kilometers an hour. So there's a lot of force onto this. Also, this beam is too small. It's a 6x1. It should be 6x2 to 6x4 thickness. So to hold down this roof here, use this kind of steel rebars that's rough. Don't use a smooth type. Step 2, to survive. Survive indoors, survive outdoors, and to survive in a vehicle. Now, how to do this? You have to decide first if your building can withstand a 9 magnitude scale tremor. If it does not, please run out. Okay, please run out. Most of the houses constructed will not fall during an earthquake. If you build it properly, it won't fall. When we say earthquake resistant, we are saying the house will not fall. It will give you time to run out of the house. That's what earthquake resistant means. Okay, but many houses are made of mud and mortar, weak bricks. You know, I've seen bricks. I can't believe it. No, I can just drop a brick just 3 feet and it smashed to bits. Big foundation. The roofs are too heavy. There are big windows. There are big doors. Columns and beams not properly constructed. All these will cause the building to fall. And in the last earthquake, I have also checked many churches and homes and found them to be improperly constructed, and they have all fallen. Okay, more than 70% of them fallen. So 400 over 1,000 buildings have fallen. So it is therefore safe to conclude that it's safer to run out to an open field. If you have an open field, run out. If not, then you stay inside the building here. If you're indoors, do 3 things: drop, cover, and hold on. Drop, cover, and hold on. Okay, hold on means hold on to the furniture to which you are under, because the shaking, the furniture might move away from you, so you don't have a cover anymore. If somebody is holding tight, you don't need to hold, because there's not enough hands to hold the legs of the table. You just stay underneath and cover your head with your hands, or your school books, or your school bags, anything to cover your head and your neck. Watch this video here. This is in Nepal, and watch this lady here in white. Okay, people are doing their work. Now, tremor. People are getting up, what to do. People are just wondering what to do. They want to go out, and then stop. Tremor stop. Okay, they are thinking it's safe. Then tremor again. This time stronger. Everybody rushing underneath. Watch this girl. What this girl's doing? What is this girl doing? She's just wondering what to do. All this place. This is not her table. Her table is here. Why is she looking around, arranging the tables and chairs? And there she is. She's still not taking cover yet. Still wondering what to do. She's arranging her table. Okay, the earthquake has shook some of the things out of place. Probably she's saying to herself, "Oh, okay, you're silly to do such silly things. I'm just taking it easy here." Now, this is not safe thing to do, because things can be flying in the room. Things can drop on her head. Okay. And now people decided to leave. They are taking their time to unplug the cables for their computers even. And look at her, taking away her mouse, and just watching other people. Look, she's going to be the last one out. Everybody has gone out. She's still arranging her tables, not only put in a notebook in the into her bag, and slowly taking her time. Now don't be like this girl here, alright? You have a plan, do your plan, get out as soon as possible. How about triangle of safety? Is it really safe? Someone wrote about the triangle of safety. Okay, find somewhere like this here, you'll be safe because things will fall here. This will give you a void area here. Find something heavy like this here, alright, like a heavy furniture. However, there's a lot of controversy. The guy who wrote the article is Doug Kopp is his name, and he has found not to be very very truthful in his way of life and living. And here are many reasons why this idea of safety triangle has not been adopted. So drop cover and hold is still the best way of keeping yourself safe. And I agree with this conclusion, because as I see it, the way things are constructed in Nepal and the Philippines, the triangle of life will probably not work. Okay, so have a look at this video here. Now there are lots of furniture here. If you are a triangle of life, where will you go? Okay, you have no time to go. You should go underneath here. If you want to stand next to this big heavy cabinet, you want to stand next to this heavy cabinet, watch what happens. You see? Look, everything is moving. What triangle of life? There's no triangle of life. Also, do not use staircase. Okay, staircase has a different waveform. Okay, what your building shaking and what your staircase shaking is different. Alright, there's different kind of vibration, so you tend to sway more in the stairwell. So don't use the staircase. Watch this video. Okay, you can see something shaking, so people are running. They're running down the staircase. Okay, here comes the second shock. Okay, people are getting more scared. Now the lights have gone off. This guy is smart, he's going to run for cover, but he's not going for under the cover. See, he says it's still not protected. See, this is a half-hearted attempt. People are still standing at the doorway here. It's not going to be safe here. There are glass everywhere here. It's not going to be safe here. So don't look at glass, windows, doors or ceiling. Turn away from glass, because this can shatter and small pieces of glass will fly everywhere. If you're out in the open, don't stand up. You see, the ground is shaking. You will not be able to stand up because either you drop or the earthquake will drop you. Okay, you will injure yourself if you fall on a hard surface. So cover yourself, make yourself into a small ball like this here, and cover your neck and your head. Why not to run out of a building in the high density area? Because many buildings collapse, the facade of the building collapse, windows are falling out. It's better for you to stay inside to avoid this danger zone. The shaking can be so strong that you are not able to move far without falling down, and injuries can be avoided if you just drop to the ground before the earthquake drops you. Look at here, this whole piece, wall, fall off. Where are you going to, if you were to run now, this might fall on you just as you are running out. Okay, it might be safer just inside here. You can see the internal wall is safer than the external wall. Okay, remember I said internal walls are safer than external walls. Here, if you are standing here, how to stand here? Everywhere is falling. You get buried by the rubble here. So here, there are plenty of voids here. You can see next to this internal wall here, there are plenty of voids. You can still survive here. Somebody can survive in here. You can see here the earth crust itself is being pushed upwards. Here you can see it's pushed upwards. So if you are standing here, you can't stand, because your legs, your feet are being pushed upwards. You're being thrown up, like these buildings here. Watch this video here, why you should not run. Okay, now it starts to shake here. Don't stand under the building. You see people are running close to the building. You should run in the center. Look at this girl, she's so silly, she's running back here. What she's doing? This one falling down, falling down, falling down. You see the bits, this woman here, she's hiding there and bits are falling off. Fortunately she wasn't hit. See, going backwards and forward. Tall frame is not always safe. Okay, if you put your hands like this here and here, bricks can fall down, damage your fingers, damage your knuckles. If you are in a car, the worst thing you can do is to go faster, because you are just going to hurt yourself. Okay, you can fall into a crevice, road can be destroyed. So stop your car, and do not stop it under tall buildings or next to tall buildings or structures, trees or power lines. Don't be under bridges or flyovers. Okay, be in the open. Watch this video here. Okay, here earthquake starts. People are pulling to the side. People are still going very fast. This bus is going very fast. Okay, now it's shaking even harder here. They are not slowing down. The motorcycle not slowing down. Now people are slowing down. This guy is stopping in the wrong place. Watch. Oh dear. Okay, this is a very bad place to stop. Rest in peace. Okay, after the earthquake is over, improve safety. Prepare for aftershocks. These aftershocks can last for weeks. Take your grab and go emergency supplies in the big bag and move away from valleys to avoid mudslides and liquefaction. Watch out for tall buildings falling, electrical cable, gas leaks. Don't use a lighter. If near the coast and earthquake lasted 20 seconds or more, move to higher ground. Check for injuries for yourself. Sometimes you are so excited that you don't even know that you're injured. Attend to your own injuries first. Attend to your injuries of others. And go with your plan. Remember your plan and go with your plan. Check also where you are. If you are living in this area, this here is a hazard for landslide triggered by earthquake here. So if you are in this area here, consider moving away from here. Okay, consider not staying here. If there's signs, like the water is changing color, becoming muddy, there are cracks opening up from the ground and so on. So mudslide is coming your way, and look out for the valley. Now this is what is being drawn out as mudslide area, and this is the reality. These are casualties. One dot represents perhaps 100, and you can see many people are injured in this area here as predicted in this map here. So mudslide comes down the valley. You choose the easiest way to come down. You go by the valley. Of course, stones are falling here, stones are falling here, everywhere stones are falling, but most of it will come down in the valley like this. Here you can see something, it goes a very wide area, 4 kilometers wide. If you have a village here, it's a very silly place to put in a village. A very silly place to put in a village, because the mud and the rocks will just push your village over the cliff. Here, look. This is how the mudslide goes down, 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 and wash everything out. Okay, there's no buildings here left. Look out for rock slide as well. Now on a road like this here, this is quite steep here, is good place to stop. Here there is slopey here. This is not so good place to stop, because sometimes the mudslide will just come down, whole bunch of rocks. And if you have something like this quite vertical, stay as close to the side, because generally the big stones will come away from the wall, slightly away, maybe 1 meter onwards. So make yourself into a small ball. If you have a crash helmet, wear your helmet. Okay, don't think about your motorcycle. Get off your motorcycle and go as close as possible to the side of the wall here. You have smaller stones here and bigger stones here. Watch this video.
天上神出名了。
Okay, so you shouldn't try to run out because you might get hit with a big stone. Stay in your car would be better, although of course a very big stone can crush the whole car. Beware of structures after earthquakes, falling structures or fallen structures. If they are fallen or they are going to fall, live cables here, for example, everywhere. Be careful. And buildings that look like they are still standing might still collapse even though there's no tremors. Okay, and watch out for fires as well. This is in Japan, Osaka. Big fires after an earthquake. And if you are near the coast, be careful of tsunamis. First, drop, cover and hold during the earthquake. Once the shaking is over, try to go to higher ground. Become more safe. Okay, move away from the valleys and go to higher ground. If there is a tsunami warning, the shaking of course is your tsunami warning. Don't wait for a tsunami warning. The shaking on the ground is your tsunami warning, and you stay there because the epicenter may be several kilometers away, maybe 100 kilometers away. So it will take time for the wave to reach. So stay there. What to do if you are trapped? Protect your mouth, nose and eyes from dust. If you are bleeding, put pressure on the wound, elevate the injured part. Signal for help with your emergency whistle, your cell phone. Knock loudly on pieces of the building, especially if it's made of metal. Knock 3 times because rescue people will be looking out for this sound. And stay calm. Okay, if you can find some water nearby, find the water and drink it so you can last longer. On the average, it will take 2.1 days to relieve you under the rubble on the average, so it can be much longer than that. Final step, recovery. Take pictures of damage of your properties and home. Contact your insurance company right away and begin your claim process. Keep records of any repairs or cleaning costs. Check on the condition of your neighbors, especially those who are seniors or disabled. Food and water. If the power is off, plan your meals to use up the refrigerated and frozen food. If you keep the door closed, food in your freezer may be good to eat even after 2-3 days. Save the canned food for a later date. If your water is cut off or is unsafe, you can drink water from your water heater or melted ice cubes or canned vegetables, but avoid drinking water from puddles or swimming pool. Do not eat or drink anything from open containers that are near shattered glass. Step 3. Connect with other people. In the days and weeks after the damaging earthquake, your family and friends and neighbors can come together as a team to start the process of recovery. You can't do this on your own. Okay, you need the help of other people. You take turns to help one another to reconstruct, rebuild your home, repair the damages. Monitor local radio or television reports about where to get emergency housing, food, first aid, clothing, and financial assistance. If you have to go to a shelter, don't bring your pets, leave them in special care center. Don't bring large quantities of unnecessary clothing or personal items. Don't bring valuable items that might be lost or stolen or may even take up place. Once you have recovered from the earthquake, use your experience and go back to step 1 and do the things you did not do before, or do them more thoroughly. Learn from what happened during the earthquake so you will be safer and recover more quickly next time. In conclusion, keep safe by being well prepared and alert. Keep doing drills to keep everyone alert. Follow your own plans. Help others, and God bless you. This is Andre, and I'm from House of God. Thank you very much, and have a blessed time. Keep safe.